Shein, the IPO, just to give you a sense, is going to be valued at, they're filing at $90 billion.
So they're OpenAI.
They have the same value as OpenAI. And I argue by last week's thing, they probably were double. And by the way, like I know a lot of people shop on Shein, but not enough yet.
Yeah.
It should have the same penetration as Amazon at its peak.
I know 3 years ago, 50% of their revenue was US, 50% was like LATAM, Europe. What do you think it is today?
I would say it's heavy US.
You think it's probably 70% US?
Yeah, 70%. And they launched their own marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
They have a third-party marketplace on Shein. You could literally find every brand in the world now on Shein.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, Kathys, we are back, the #1 podcast in the world. And interesting enough, based on the Spotify Wrapped, the minutes that people are consuming group chat are just staggering. And what's crazy is the minutes are still high, but if you're a long time, Kathy, we used to do 3 episodes a week. So I was looking at from previous years, it was like double because we were doing 3 episodes. So it's amazing to see how many people we are their #1 or #2 podcast. I was a little disgusted with people when that had us at #2.
Yeah, can't be #2.
#2 is a little embarrassing.
And don't
For you
post
and
it.
for me.
Don't post it if we're #2.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're supporting their #1 podcaster.
We're just along for the ride.
Yeah, exactly. But what an incredible idea by Spotify that it basically is promoting. It's also very interesting to see what content people consume, what music they consume.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw my #1 artist. Guess what my #1 artist is?
The Eagles.
Sam Cooke.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of Sam Cooke in our house.
Mine's obvious.
So it's interesting. I love it. I think from a podcast perspective, I find it more interesting from a podcast perspective than music because there's so many different podcasts and so many different types of people that consume different podcasts. Like our cohort of listeners, if it's a male, it's Joe Rogan, Pardon My Take, Bill Simmons, and Olin.
Yeah.
That's our typical male listener. Our female listener, I would say there's no Joe Rogan. There's probably Call Her Daddy, and then like The Daily, like one of the news ones. I see that with a lot of the...
Maybe a crime show.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's all business, cultural related more so than like... But I'm sure the person whose top podcast is a crime show is a very different list of things.
Think about how much marketing Spotify gets from this list.
Yeah.
Because everyone posts it.
Why has Apple obviously gave up on podcasts.
So it's funny, Anshu, who listens to the pod, he's a friend of mine from San Francisco. He's the one who came up with it for Spotify.
Wow.
To do that. He doesn't work there anymore.
Oh.
But he decided that was his like initiative.
Baby. It's an incredible idea. One, I think it's, even if you don't share it, it's fascinating to see the year in review of what you did consume.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the idea that they've made it so easy to share is so genius because I'm sure every podcast this week and every artist gets a lift because you're discovering things. You're like,
Sure.
Oh, my friend Mary listens to this podcast. I got to listen to it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Jordan from Ghost post his top 5 artists.
What are they?
I've never listened to any of them.
Never heard of NBA Youngboy.
Trippie Redd, I've heard of obviously
Yeah.
Trippie Redd, but like I don't know a Trippie Redd song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go listen to a Trippie Redd song. Like,
Okay,
what's
well,
going on?
They're pretty bad.
That's your #1 song.
I listened to him. He's not good.
But it's to your point. I literally paused on his post and I was like, I've never heard of one song of these 5
I like
artists.
seeing people that have different taste because it is discovering.
Yeah.
Like, and it's interesting from a music standpoint and podcast standpoint. I think it's amazing. But on that note, we're growing our podcast constantly, but we have not grown our YouTube page.
Yeah.
We have not done a good job of promoting it. So, in the words of Casey Neistat, go smash the subscribe button on our YouTube page. Leave a comment, talk shit, all good.
Make fun of us. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm sure there's people making fun of us on the thing all the time. But it'd be great if we can grow that channel. It is fun seeing the visuals because you do get a little bit more animation, a little bit more personality. So if you have not, please head over to our YouTube page. Group Chat News is the name of the page. Subscribe there. If you aren't also following on TikTok, that is where the most amount of people like to shit on us.
Yeah.
Making sure
But it's also the most we get viewed.
we get a lot of views there, but the amount of people that tell us that we know nothing about everything.
Love it.
That's the place to go. If you think we know nothing, smash the subscribe button on TikTok and talk shit to us. It's great. Helps our algo.
Yeah. Negative wins.
Yeah. The thing that I appreciate more about Taylor Offer than anyone when he was here talking about Scoop Bagels is he made a comment that said social media is easy. And I would agree. I think it's incredibly easy if you're willing to play the villain.
Yeah.
If you're willing to play the villain, it's actually quite easy. As long as like
you just have to irk someone enough where they still tolerate you but not hate you.
yes, so
That's the balance.
like for us, I think anytime we dunk on Gen Z, it's like you hate our guts, but you're curious to see why we're dunking on you.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
It's like this is what Portnoy does. Portnoy mastered this.
Yes, and
He knows how because he's funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
But he irks
Yeah.
a certain demographic.
I'm just fascinated by how many people on the internet, even I used to be like this, where I would get annoyed by people who had differing opinions on me on topics. Now I think I know it's all trolling and I think it's all funny. Like, I love it. I love everyone who does it.
Once you understand that everyone's playing a character, it's not that hard to tolerate.
Yeah. Because it's like privately, they could be saying whatever the hell they want. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they just know that this works and resonates with creating clicks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Speaking of clicks, this is going to get a lot of clicks. Ready for clicks, people?
Good TikTok.
Skims. Everyone's talking about OpenAI. Everyone's talking about technology companies always. Skims, Kim Kardashian's, what do you call it? Shapewear brand
Mm-hmm.
is filing to go public, and the numbers are just staggering. So let's first start with, it was last valued privately at $4 billion, which is a pretty big number because the company is how old? Like 4 years old or something? Pretty new. Revenue this year is $750 million, up from $500 million last year. That's up 50%. Net margins are likely to be 25% or more, meaning estimated profits in 2023 is probably in the $200+ million range.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's saying it was founded in 2019.
It is 19? 2019. This business is 4 years old. So to give you a comp, Lululemon, which is growing at half the rate of Skims, trades at 40 times current and 35 times forward earnings. That would basically mean that in the public market, they should probably trade between $7 and $8 billion.
You know who led the last round?
Who?
Green Oaks. Neil.
Oh.
Stepped out of the tech.
He
world.
realized tech is bullshit. He knows. He knows. We talked about brands all day now. Brands is where the money is. If you want cash, like green, not the funny money, AI money, you need to go to fashion. Put it like this. fashion is going to bring back the IPO market
So last
single-handedly.
round, 4 billion, 750 growing at, what percent?
50%.
50%.
Do you know how many categories Skims can go into still?
Yeah.
They just launched men's. Our friend Mike Snetgar DM me and said the men's product is phenomenal.
Really?
He said the quality is unbelievable and super comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it because they do the leggings for men that like athletes wear under their shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, damn. 750 million, 50% growth rate. I mean, that's better than most software companies.
Yeah. Right.
And
Profitable.
software trades at like 50x.
Yeah.
But it won't, because it's apparel, they won't trade at 50x.
And by the way, it's if it trades less than 8 to 10 billion, I'm going to say that it's purely because she's a female founder and it's a women-focused brand, because the Wall Street investor is happily overpaying for On Running because they understand the brand.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, because most investment firms just tend to invest in what is in their ecosystem.
Yes. So they see On Running. Oh, Bob on third floor is always wearing On.
Yeah.
Let's go give them $2 billion. But if you, in reality, like Skims.
I mean, it's why Allbirds was able to raise.
Yes.
Because every like dork in Silicon Valley was wearing Allbirds.
Yes.
And we've seen how the stock performed.
Yeah. And so this should be worth, because we know the category extensions of Skims is unbelievable. Like they could do so many categories. It's not just shapewear. It's not just undergarments. And even just in undergarments, you could do $5 billion.
I mean, we could find out, but I wonder if they got the NBA. Is the NFL available?
I mean, that's probably what, Nike and Under Armour?
I know, but did they not sign the undergarment deal
Yeah.
that, for that league?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I'm blown
And then
away.
soccer leagues.
Yeah, and she's global. And I guarantee you the brand is not even scratched the surface internationally. There's no way. It's too new.
Yeah, I don't think they have distribution in
And
the
by the
Middle
way,
East.
they should have retail. Retail's going to work for that brand.
For that brand, it will. If it works for Al, it'll work for Skims.
Yeah, it's just it's the same thought process. Unbelievable. Just and if you don't know, the partner of Kim Kardashian is a husband and wife duo. I think Jens and Emma. They are behind Frame, I believe.
Wearing them right now.
They're behind Good American. They're behind a couple other brands. I think they're behind Kylie's new brand. They are like,
Well, no, the Kylie's new brand is under Skims.
but it's under Skims.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it should be a $50 billion company.
yeah, exactly. So that duo, that husband and wife duo, I would say are like the most primo operators in apparel right now, because everything they're touching is golden.
No, I mean, 100%. And I mean, Kim, as famous as she is, Kylie's bigger. Don't you think?
I feel like Kim just does a day-to-day better job.
Well, Kylie doesn't care about.
She's already a billionaire.
Yeah, and I don't think she puts out content like Kim does. Kim focuses on content.
Well, Kim's out. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
you're seeing Kim's always at everything. So Kim's a billionaire. Kylie's a billionaire. Kendall will be a billionaire.
For
once
sure.
818 sells. Courtney and Chloe, we got to get them.
You feel
something.
bad for them?
Chloe has Good American. I don't think that's $1 billion brand. I just don't believe that brand will be worth $1 billion. Courtney has a couple things. I think she has Poosh, which is her e-commerce like content site. Potentially could be huge. I do feel bad. But Courtney,
You feel bad for them.
I do feel bad. Courtney has Travis Barker, so that's good. But Travis is not a billionaire.
No.
Yeah, kind of feel bad.
I'm shocked Michael Rubin's not involved in this somehow. This seems like right up his alley.
He missed the boat on this.
Don't you think?
I think the Jens and
Just-
Emma
just
are
was
too
like-
hot. They're too hot.
They're like, we don't need you, Michael.
Yeah. Like, well, cool. We'll come to the party, but we don't necessarily need your
They
money.
may not get the invite.
They might not. I mean, they're going to do this 10 more times. How many kids are left in this family? Every
now
kid's
you
going to
have-
need a brand.
Yeah, the younger kids, of
North
course.
is going to have $1 billion brand.
Easy.
Penelope, Mason, you name them. They're all going to have brands. Every single kid. They should just open their own mall. Because basically they're going to have every category. You could have a bar with Kendall's
It's like
tequila.
the Grove of Kardashians.
Yes.
It's just the Kardashians.
Grovdations. And then you do it in Calabasas.
Yeah.
Rick Caruso develops it. And everything is Kardashian related. It would probably have 200 million visitors a year.
And every tourist would come.
That's what I'm saying. Their food, their restaurant,
Yeah.
their denim. I mean, half the Grove is already their shit, probably.
It's insanely impressive, the longevity of the family.
Never landing.
Never landing. The fact that people still care. Because we're talking now like 15 years. And people will continue to care because it's not like you're a musician where you're only as good as your latest song. They're just so famous. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like there is a scenario where Drake isn't as famous in 5 years.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of celebrities that are probably not going to be famous as they are today.
And we could pretty much bank they're going to be just as famous in 5 years.
Easily.
Right?
I mean, the mom. It's Kris Jenner. She's a wizard.
She has to be.
Yeah.
Because none of it is like, I don't know how it worked.
How the mafia works.
No, meaning I don't know how they're all still so damn famous.
She's like, you know, CIA of pop culture.
It must be. Do you think she forces them to go to events? Like you have to be at the all-white Michael Rubin 4th of July party?
Yes. I mean, what do moms do? They force you to do shit. Get out of bed. You're going to Michael Rubin's party. You're dating that guy. She's a wizard. This is the most, they're like the Kennedys on steroids.
Yeah, and they're not slowing down.
And by the way, they're not like train wrecks.
No.
None of them have like an alcohol abuse problem.
No drug
They're not on
problems.
drugs. You never see like,
And if they're out, they're always put together.
yeah, it's not like typically celebrities have a lot of like demons. They're pretty good. They're pretty clean. Okay, whatever, a sex tape. That's nothing.
Think about that. A sex tape created this,
Yeah.
whatever, $10 billion empire.
Yeah. I mean,
From
I
the
think that's
family?
what's going to continue to happen, as I'm sure people have seen how much money Iggy Azalea and Cardi B make on OnlyFans. Do you know the number?
I don't.
I think the last 12 months, it was like each of them made $50 million. Gross.
I didn't even know Cardi B was on OnlyFans.
Everyone's on OnlyFans.
And they're just showing nudes? What are they doing?
I don't even know if they're doing that.
They're just hanging out?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're, sex-driven things, but not necessarily they're naked.
Good for them.
It says right here that Iggy Azalea made $48 million on OnlyFans.
Some British guy owns it, right?
Yeah, owns, I think, 100% of it.
Yeah,
So what do they take, 30%?
probably.
20%? Yeah. I mean, OnlyFans is basically the America of companies. It is the land of opportunities.
It's Instagram peeling the layer back because everyone's a creep on Instagram,
Yeah.
and OnlyFans gives you that extra creep.
Sure, I'm viewing it differently. Like, it has created so much wealth. Like, what are the biggest wealth unlocks? You know how like people say like crypto is your way to financial freedom? No, OnlyFans is.
Well, you have to be attractive to a group.
Everyone is attractive to a group. That is the beauty of the internet. No matter how ugly you think you are, there's someone that thinks you're beautiful on the internet.
If you're willing to play some sort of sexual part.
Yes, you have to show skin.
You really think so? Can we trial this? Someone that we can objectively say is ugly.
Yeah. A male or a female?
Either one.
A/B test it.
A/B testing. I think 100% that person, if they go all in on promoting it, is a millionaire within 12 months. Guaranteed. If you're moderately attractive, I think you're making 20 mil.
What about overweight?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Nothing. No, I'm telling you, does not matter.
Because people will just come in for the laughs.
No, I think there's people that are attracted to everything. And if you're willing to be a freak on the camera, there's a person that's out there somewhere in the world. You don't need that many. You get 50,000 people. 50,000 is nothing, paying you $5 a month. You're grossing $2.5 million.
Yeah, I think you're right because I'm currently in an Instagram thread.
You're just creeping.
With 4 friends. They just post fat memes.
Yeah.
Of like the 500-pound guy that's drunk at the football game.
By the way, those guys, your friends, would pay $5 for those.
They would.
They would.
The amount they talk about.
Yeah, they'd watch videos of them being made. I'm telling you, you could. OnlyFans is basically one of the greatest creations of humanity.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Everyone's talking about how ChatGPT is going to create the next billionaire. No, OnlyFans is. There will be a billionaire created from OnlyFans.
Well, I mean Cardi B just needs.
Iggy Azalea's making $50 million. $50 million.
How much do you think she's making off music?
0. I would say 0. The little number is 0.
Who's she dating?
Playboy Cardi, or I guess they're separated now, but that's who she has a kid with.
She's bigger than him. He's not making $50 million.
No, $50 million is
4.
an obscene amount of money.
$50 million. That's what does like Satya make?
He probably
100?
make a couple hundred with stock. Yeah, easy.
She's not far behind. He's getting stock. She's getting cash. Would you rather be Iggy Azalea or Satya?
Me, Satya.
The pressure. Getting screwed by OpenAI. Iggy Azalea turns on her phone. Boom. 50 mil.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, what do you think her production costs? What's the margin? Is it 90%?
I think production cost is around $1.50.
No, it's not $1.50. She has a camera crew and all this shit, right?
What? That's not how OnlyFans works. You put your phone on a fucking thing and
you're in the content game. How do these OnlyFans production work?
They go both ways, where it's just like whoever is posting the content, they'll just use their iPhone. But there's also full production companies and content houses and like management firms that do this as well.
Yeah.
So,
I have a friend who does this.
Yeah.
He has deals with a handful of girls. He manages the production, the finances for this.
Yep.
He takes a small cut to do it. And he shared with me, I've never heard of any of these people. 6 figures a month they're all making. Like mid-low 6 figures. Never heard of these people in my life.
I mean, less of a reason to go to college.
Yeah. I think it's available to anyone. That's the beauty of this.
Yeah.
It's not like Hollywood, which is always like, oh, you have to be great looking and very good at acting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to be willing to be a freak.
And there's no barriers to entry.
Yeah, and I don't think people care either. They're not going to judge you.
All right.
All right, let's move on to other IPOs. Something's happening. The IPO market is opening back up. Shein, leading the fashion kind of forward march. It's interesting that the IPO market is going to open up with fashion. Skims is a traditional apparel business.
Yep.
Not Shein, as much as everyone wants to believe it's technology, it is a traditional e-commerce company.
Yeah, but I think their tech is the access to the production houses. That's where their software is.
Okay.
Not consumer facing. So we don't know the tech because we're able to order on Shein, but they've built the software businesses with the production houses to be able to get that.
I'll give them credit for what they did was they created a connectivity between the consumer and the factories.
Mm-hmm.
That is the unlock that they created.
Yep.
And they figured out how to consolidate shipments from China to America in a cost-efficient way to deliver that to the consumer. So they figured out two very difficult things. But the IPO, just to give you a sense, Shein is going to be valued at, they're filing at $90 billion. $90 billion.
So they're OpenAI.
They are the same value as OpenAI. And argue by last week's thing, they probably were double OpenAI.
And OpenAI does $1 billion in revenue, and these guys do what, 30?
They did 23 in the first 9 months.
Yeah. So they'll
And
do
these are the big 3 months. They'll do
so
30.
they'll end up like 36, 37 probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how, yeah.
I mean, you would
At least
think
30.
there's a winter bump.
Yeah. So 30 plus. Cheap.
Yeah, 3x revenue growing.
And by the way, like, I know a lot of people shop on Shein, but not enough yet.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's so
Like,
much
I don't
runway.
think it should have the same penetration as Amazon at its peak.
I know 3 years ago, 50% of their revenue was US, 50% was like LATAM, Europe. What do you think it is today? I don't know the numbers.
I would say it's heavy US.
You think it's probably 70% US?
Yeah, 70% US. I mean, the buying power of LATAM in Europe is insignificant compared to what it can be for US. And they launched their own marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
They have a third-party marketplace on Shein where you can now buy other brands. You could literally find every brand in the world now on Shein. It's happening. So if they figure that piece out, Shein is the closest competitor to Amazon. TikTok Shop is the clear thing that could blow all those up because they're leading with content. They won the content war. And if they can figure out how to convert it, and from what I've seen on Black Friday, they moved a lot of product. I would love to hear what the number is.
TikTok Shop did.
Oh, yeah. I bet you it was, when they release the number, people are going to be like, time to pack up and go home. I think the number was staggering. The other IPO that's, two other IPOs is Reddit.
Yep.
Reddit is supposed to go public at $15 billion.
Seems high.
What is their it's just ad model?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could just been a leak to gas up investors.
Yeah, I mean, so
because Reddit 10 months ago was trading at the secondary market at a massively discounted rate to 15 billion. So when I saw that, I didn't get how all of a sudden people think it's a $15 billion company.
they just were like, hey, we're talking about IPOs, and Reddit's like, can you just shove our name in?
Yeah.
At 15 billion?
I really think so.
Yeah.
It's not going to trade at 15.
I mean, what's the difference between Reddit and like, I don't know, BuzzFeed?
Twitter today probably is a $15 to $20 billion company. Do you think Reddit is the same?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then lastly, Starlink, which is currently inside of SpaceX.
Yep.
So I didn't realize that they wanted to spin that off as a separate unit. I finally today got Starlink live at home. It was actually a process for me. Because
Do they send an installer like a Time Warner?
no, they send you nothing. So we found somebody, like a neighborhood guy. He came and he was like, hey, first of all, the irony of this job, it's very scary. You have to climb up the ladder to the roof because you need an unobstructed. It can't have trees, can't have nothing. If it is obstructed, it does not work. Full, like.
So that's why it works so good on planes,
Yes.
because unobstructed.
Unobstructed. And
Makes
so
sense.
you need someone to climb a ladder, go on the roof and find it, a space. The two people that we had, because it took us 2 times, were north of 70 years old. Pretty big, not small guys, large men.
You didn't want to do it?
One did not want to do it because he saw the roof, he saw the thing, he's like, I'm out of here, and left. The other guy came, he did it, and then he's walking up, he's like, hey, can you hold the ladder? I'm like, what if I wasn't here? What are you just gonna do? Just go up and pray to God you don't fall? Like, this is an insane job. So anyways, he goes up, comes the first time. Comes with a 75-foot cable, and where they had to put it and where I had to have the outlet was not 75 feet, did not suffice. So he's like, I got to do this, I got to do that. I'm like, don't do anything because like we don't own the house. I'm like, I can't take the risk of you drilling a hole to the roof or some shit like that. So I said, I'll get a longer cable. So I ordered a 150-foot cable. And then Haley just told me just now, it's working, we're live. So now I can cut Spectrum.
Got it. And has she noticed any difference in internet speed?
She just did the speed, and it looks like it honestly looks like it's the same speed as my Wi-Fi. I got to double check. I don't remember what I had. But
So why does it work so well on planes compared to like a Delta? Like JSX,
yeah,
it's Starlink.
Yeah.
And JSX, you can stream TikTok, YouTube automatically.
I think, these are old technologies, and there's probably a racket to
Go.
Yeah. Wi-Fi go-go is just the worst.
The worst.
Do you know how much Wi-Fi is on these Delta flights?
$20?
To New York, it's like $40, $50. I don't even get it. It's like $50. Fuck you.
And it's not good.
No, it's barely
you
working.
can barely get
You
a
get
WhatsApp.
free text, though. You get free text now on Delta.
iMessage. So here's a great business idea. Starlink installation business.
It is.
Brilliant Bulbs, who
Yeah.
did both of our house, Alex
Yeah.
and Tyler Malott.
Unbelievable. If you guys want,
Because they're on the roof.
they should just add that to their
Yeah, they
feature.
should add it to a feature.
Yes, because I think there's a lot of people looking for it because DirecTV will come and do it for you. Great business. Brilliant Bulbs.
Brilliant Bulbs, add Starlink.
Yeah.
Tyler listens. I don't know if Alex does.
Yeah.
Maybe we can add it to their features.
By the way, great job with Christmas lights.
Unbelievable job.
Unbelievable job. We're getting a lot of compliments in the neighborhood.
Have you seen ours yet?
I've only seen it in the day, not at night.
Okay. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I need to see it.
A lot of people in the neighborhood have reached out to try to.
And yeah, I mean, our close friends that you know who they are, when they came to our house, they're like, this is great. Who did this? So we cooked them up with them.
Yeah.
They live in your neighborhood. And so they're going to get lights done too now. So Brilliant Bulbs should be booming soon.
Yeah. Starlink, and
I like the Starlink. It's great for the off season.
for sure.
Or whatever. I'm up on your roof turning lights. You want Starlink on?
Yeah. Just throw it in one package.
Yeah, if you're already going to the roofs, give me put the lights on the damn satellite. Who cares?
Right. Unobstructed.
And then lastly, the only other IPO that, that people are still waiting on is Stripe. I mean, that's not happening.
Doesn't seem like it.
No.
I don't know anyone talking about a Stripe IPO.
No.
And at what valuation? 20 billion, 10 billion?
Yeah. Rough.
Do you know what the peak valuation of Stripe was? On the secondary market. I know what they raised at. I think they raised
190.
350 billion. And on the secondary market, not what the last raised at.
Oh my God. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Peak fuckery.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, the valuation kind of destruction that's happened. Speaking of that, this is one of the companies that I was always very puzzled in terms of valuation. Like the company, like what they do, but the valuation never made sense to me. Farfetch.
Mm-hmm.
Farfetch at peak, if you know what Farfetch is, a luxury marketplace connecting like independent retailers, consumers.
So eBay for luxury.
Yeah, but not eBay's used goods.
No, because they actually use the retailers.
Yeah, it's
Right.
retailers' inventory. They bought Stadium Goods. They bought the New Guards group that has Off-White and Palm Angels. So they have a lot of different rev sources. Farfetch announced yesterday that they're not going to release third quarter earnings. That's never a good sign. So the first rumor was that the founder who has controlling shares in the company was making a bid to take the company private.
Okay.
And that's why he wasn't going to release data. And it said it was a possible partnership with Richemont. Richemont is like a luxury conglomerate that owns Cartier and a partnership with Alibaba to take the company private. So that was the rumor. Stock shoots up 25, 30, 40%. After hours, they say earnings are not going to be released. So everyone just assumed that's what's happening. This morning, everyone denies everything. Stock down 50%.
Yeah.
It was trading at like $1 something when I last saw it.
$1.
It's literally at $1.
So it's priced at a $187 million company, down 53% today.
Yeah.
So it's basically being priced at zero.
Yeah. And it does like $1 billion in revenue. Losing money, obviously. This is one of those companies that like, you know, it's mind-boggling when these guys had like market caps like the Pelotons, the Farfetches of the world of $20 billion, even $5 billion. Like no one in the room was like, hey guys, like why don't we buy companies that have revenue and protect our ass when this shit falls apart? Because if you had bought like more cash flowing brands with their stock, which at that price people probably would have been gladly doing, maybe you could have changed the narrative.
Yeah, I mean, I think the business just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because you're buying inventory from, you're just matchmaking a retailer and a consumer and taking a small spread.
Yeah.
That's not a high margin business.
No, it doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sure the founder made a fortune along the way.
Yeah, why not? Everyone always does.
And yeah, I don't think the company will be publicly traded much longer.
No.
When you're down 53% in a day, it's lights out. Yeah.
It's too bad because Bill Ackman just made, I don't know what this is. He said he made a bet that the Fed is going to cut interest rates. Where do you make this bet? What is the bet?
You're basically, so what he did do in September was he shorted the bond market, which means yields are going to go up.
Yeah.
He thought interest rates are going to go up.
Yeah.
So now his bet is you go long the bond market and yields go down.
Yeah.
And, you know, guys like Bill Ackman, all hedge funds, they have access to instruments that we don't.
Yeah.
So
People will make up things.
They'll make a trade for him.
Yeah.
Like you want to bet interest rates are going down. Goldman will do it. UBS will do it.
Yeah.
Anyone will do it. It's like, you know that
The
company in London, Lloyd's, they'll take any bet.
Any bet.
You want to bet?
I want to bet how many people are going to watch this weekend's SEC
They'll
title
take your
game.
bet. They'll take your bet.
If I wanted to bet like $1 million.
Yes, they will take the bet.
Who is Lloyd?
I don't know who Lloyd is, but they just take these crazy bets that no one else will take. Like you can't go to your bookie and bet on the SEC viewership.
No.
But you could do it in London. And the international markets, you could do this in Asia. You could do this everywhere.
A lot of those people allow that fuckery.
Yeah. And he's basically the king of talking his book publicly. This guy's a mastermind.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he went short in March 2020 and then went long in April of 2020 of the market and made a fortune?
Yeah.
And now he's doing the same bet. Everyone knows he moves markets. So in September, when he's bet interest rates would go up, move the bond market. Now he's betting interest rates are going to cut. The 10-year's down to 4.2%
Because of him.
Because of him.
And it was
At 3 weeks ago.
wow.
And I know it doesn't sound like a massive move. That's enormous. That's
In bonds.
extraordinary.
15%. Yeah. And so the bet that a lot of the banks are now making, Bank of America came out also today, that they expect a rate cut second half of the year. Morgan Stanley said they'll 12 rate cuts coming in the next 2 years.
Love it.
I'm going to bet no rate cuts the first half of the year. And then the second half, they start coming.
So the odds market for interest rate cuts in the last 7 days went from a 15% chance of a March cut to a 45% chance of a March cut.
Okay.
June is baked in 100%.
Well, I mean, the market's just ripping right now.
Yeah. And so just to simplify what that means is if you think about the stock market's done phenomenal in the last 10 months, but what's driven it? It's just big tech.
Yeah.
Right? 7 companies.
Yeah.
And so what the market now is saying is the fuckery can start again. So like the growth stocks can start.
Yeah.
Carvana can start popping.
Yeah.
Your Coinbase is up 30% in the last 7 days.
Affirm.
Yeah. And now you're being signaled, you're allowed to get a little risky. You can dance a little bit.
If Oatly goes up 50%, then you know party's full on.
You can dance a little bit. You were at the bar seeing, who's getting on the dance
floor. Now it's happy hour.
Now everyone got their 2 cocktails in
Yeah.
and they're dancing.
Yeah. John Bon Jovi's about to come on.
Yeah. And, you're going to have the limbo going.
Yeah.
You're doing the whole thing.
Okay. I like it.
I want the party back on.
I mean, look, I think it makes sense that the problem is that the reason the Fed has to cut the interest rates is that it's crippling Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unclear if it's doing that yet because we had booming spending across the board. So unless there's like systemic risk in banking or commercial real estate that they feel will trickle into consumers and a Fed only cares about regular American people. That's like,
so, yeah. I mean, yes, the Fed only cares about regular American people, but you're starting to see some pretty jarring information. So, the Chrysler building in New York, it's iconic.
Yeah.
The guy who owns it went bankrupt because no one's paying rent. And you're going to start seeing you're in like early innings of commercial real estate completely falling apart. You hear everyone kind of dancing around, what do you do with this office building? The office building we're in right now wants to do residences.
yeah, I saw they filed the permit. They have a big sign.
And it's not that easy to do.
Yeah.
And you have to raise new capital to do that. And with interest rates as high, it can get pretty disastrous pretty quickly. And I think the Fed has realized inflation's kind of calmed down. And now you have to save some of these ancillary industries because the spillover effect will be enormous.
Yeah.
If every office building just keeps going under and under, I mean, all the shops near our building, they're getting crushed.
Yeah.
There's no customers.
Yeah.
So like you keep looking at, the secondary, tertiary effects.
Except Jones on Third. They have a line out the door.
Yeah, that's unique. But all the restaurant, little sandwich shops around us, they require office people. And we were very wrong on that. No one's coming back to the office.
It's very hard. So speaking of rents, there came out a list. 32 cities where rents are falling fast. Can you guess the number 1 city?
Austin.
Nope. You're in the general area, not close, but you're
Is it a massive city?
No.
I won't know.
Small city.
Go for it.
Greensboro, North Carolina. And these numbers that you're seeing out of these places, like it's real crazy. So hold on.
This is why rates are getting cut.
Why?
People are finally understanding that this 5% interest rate environment is now having effects on everyone.
I think
despite consumer spend.
Yeah. That's fine. I think, but if rents go down and the building can still survive and they can also do their thing, isn't it all the same? Like they're not going out of business, but I don't know. Like, why can't they just, if they're not going to go out of business, then what's the impetus to cut the interest rates?
I think just getting more liquidity in the marketplace. Because if you want to save commercial real estate, you have to cut interest rates. If you want home prices to start moving again, you have to cut interest rates.
Yep. I mean, I think the problem I have is like, Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's just around this idea of liquidity in the market, then that's one thing. This fucking article is not loading up on my phone. Can you see if they load up on yours? Josh?
It's got the paywall.
How did I see it earlier? Definitely don't have it. You know what? Let's cancel this whole article. Well, no. It's a good topic. Yeah. All right, well, I mean, because I can't give the answer. Just kill it. Kill the whole thing. We're going to go to some big news.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Cuban. Pretty popular billionaire as far as billionaires go. Like, people like him.
Yeah.
He's on Shark Tank. He owns the Dallas Mavericks. He famously started broadcast.com in the 90s, sold the company Yahoo for $4 billion, shorted Yahoo and kind of hedged himself and made a fortune, started a pharmaceutical, what is it, like an online pharmacy where he's helping undercut some of these pharmacy costs and giving prescription drugs to lower prices. Really popular guy. Like, I would say, generally speaking,
High Q rating.
yeah, like the internet likes him.
Mm-hmm.
He is leaving Shark Tank. Wasn't a big surprise there. He's been on there forever. Like, you know, I'm sure it's a lot of work being on that show. He then, kind of a bombshell announcement, sells majority interest, or is selling majority interest to, I think it's Miriam Adelson, who is the wife of Sheldon Adelson, or ex-wife? Are they ex-wife?
Well, he passed.
Oh, he passed. Okay.
He passed in 21.
Who was the founder of, they founded Las Vegas Sands, the billionaires. And she made a purchase of the majority of stake of the business. He will still retain control to, like, I guess probably operationally control the business. And so, speculation. My first speculation, it sounds like you're shedding all your assets to make a run for the presidency.
Because he has been open politically.
Yeah, and he
for the
has
last
said
4 or 5 years
that if it wasn't for his kids, that he would actually consider it. I'm assuming, because I remember hearing that 4 or 5 years ago, kids are probably older now. They're probably adults.
No, they're still teenagers. He's got a young teenage. He has 2 teenage daughters. One was quoted as a young teenager. So what is that, 13, 14?
14, yeah.
So
could be gearing up for the next
gearing
cycle.
up for another 5-6 years. He denied it today. Mark Cuban did. I think it also draws to a larger point. He was on the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson saying, I think the NBA TV rights deal, this is what I've been predicting for years. The NBA TV rights deal this time will be
blockbuster.
Will be great. He's like, I don't know so much about the next one. I think they're just top taking valuations because unlike the NFL, which I think had 150 million people on Thanksgiving watch.
Well, I don't think it's 150
no, 133 million uniques. That's what they claim.
Unique.
Yeah.
Okay.
133 million uniques. NBA doesn't get that.
Yeah.
So like right now in the NBA, this in-season tournament, the NBA reached out to people, buy 1 ticket, you get 3 free.
Damn. I'd go then.
Yeah, you can take the whole family.
You take the family. Because otherwise going to a game is ridiculous.
So I think he's just top ticking it. And whether he has political ambitions or not,
Well, he did that in 99.
Yes.
Better than anyone.
Yeah, he's a very savvy guy.
Yeah.
He knows when the writing's on the wall.
What's funny is I vividly remember whenever it was like December, November of 21 on the All In podcast when all these billionaires were selling everything and the market collapsed. Bezos just sold $1 billion of stock. Jack Ma's trying to dump $800 million.
Tesla over the last 2 years is flat.
Yeah.
And 29 billion has been sold by insiders.
Yeah. So you're seeing it happen again. And I don't think it's like
No, I think it's specific to industry. And I think what was going on is outside the NFL, which is untouchable, other franchises are reaching peak valuations. If you just look at the Suns sold for $4 billion 6 months ago, whatever, 10 months ago. And the Mavericks, which arguably is a better organization, sold for 3.5.
Yeah.
And you could argue the discount because he's still operationally in control, but
Yeah.
I think Mark Cuban is as involved in the league as any owner, right? He's seeing the data.
Yeah.
He's participating in the owners' conferences. He's participating in everything.
He goes to every game.
Goes to every game. He was actually against expansion.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I think we've seen peak NBA valuations. That's my prediction.
Okay. I believe that. And I think a lot of billionaires are selling shit right now. And I see what my guy Ken Griffin is buying when he clears up the Dolphins.
It's a smart buy.
Yeah. He's like, I spoke to someone that was involved in the purchasing, wrote a very large check to an NFL franchise. And it was one of the recent ones that sold. And I was like, how did you guys get around like getting comfortable around the price? He's like, honestly, when you model it out, it's like a home run. Like you're not going to lose money on it.
Yeah. And I don't know if we're talking about the same person, but I was told a story that knows an NFL owner after they purchased, they couldn't believe how much money you make. They're like, if I had known this, I would have paid double.
Unbelievable. All right. Before we move on to winners, losers content, I love a good list. The 3 most Googled jobs in the US don't require a degree.
Okay.
Can you guess number 1?
Plumber.
You think people are trying to be plumbers?
They should. I think it's a...
Number 1, real estate agent.
Okay.
I think those Netflix shows...
Selling Sunset's always trending top 5.
Okay. Selling Sunset should be owned by a real estate... I mean...
Compass?
Are they owned by... They're like actual real estate agents, right? What's the show about?
It's just selling rich homes in LA.
So, I mean, holy shit. I bet you that show has a tremendous impact. Because like Googling in 2023, a real estate agent is kind of a dumb move considering no one's buying homes and home sales are dropping. So I have to believe it's the Netflix show. You're seeing all these good looking people sell homes. You're like, fuck it. I want to do that.
I mean, think about how many people we know, ex-club promoters, good-looking girls that wanted to be actors or models turned real estate agents.
If you are one of those cohorts, go to OnlyFans.
Ditch real estate, go OnlyFans?
You want to be a real estate agent or you want to be a millionaire?
There's a lot of content surrounding on that too. Like I've seen a lot of people showing like luxury homes and all that stuff on TikTok and YouTube, and they have like substantial YouTube channels too. So they're like monetizing it as well.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Number 2 is notary.
You love notary business.
I love notary because, you know, an idiot can be a notary. That's why I like it. I think everyone should go become a notary. It's probably like, it's better than being an Uber driver. Like if you're going to consider, do you know how many things need to be notarized still?
Shocking.
Insane amount of things need to be notarized. So
it's just stupid, to be honest.
Yeah.
Think about how many things we sign and you can wire money, send things with no restrictions.
Yeah.
But then if you want to sign, like, I mean, what's the last time you had to notarize something?
Probably a year ago. And I had to get someone to come to the office.
Yeah, our guy.
And it was like $75 for what? A minute of work?
Yeah,
1 minute?
Was it thumbprint? Signature?
The license. Boom, boom, boom.
Where's it even going after that?
The notary?
Yeah, like where is
sandwich? Get a sandwich.
No, where's a repository of this information?
That's fraud.
Yeah.
Lastly, travel agent. Shocking.
Why would anyone want to be a travel agent?
I just don't know. We can ask our mom.
She even tells us it's a bad business.
The average pay for a travel agent in the United States is $39,955. Real estate average is $86,000. And notaries, here you go, average $129,000. The average notary. You can be a notary. Anyone can be a notary.
You just have to show up.
I might become a notary. $129,000 on the weekends. I'll just be notarizing.
Yeah.
I'll be a night notary. You need a notary from 9 p.m. to 1 in the morning. You call D.
There you go.
It's unbelievable. All right, let's move on. Winners, losers, content. Who's your winner of the week?
My winner of the week is Coinbase. So it'll also be my loser of the week, which is CZ from Binance. So I'll combine the two. CZ showed up in Seattle for court. He's the CEO and founder of Binance, which is the largest crypto exchange in the world. And I've been saying this for years. They must be breaking an insane number of security laws to be able to get that kind of volume.
Yeah.
And it turns out Binance was not money laundering, but facilitating money to countries that are sanctioned by Western governments. So Iran, Hamas, North Korea, all these different countries. And this guy showed up in court, paid his fine, and he thought he could leave.
Leave where?
Back to Abu Dhabi.
Why would
he show up? This idiot.
Lawyers did ask if he can go back, and the judge said no.
But do you think when you know you've broken so many securities laws in the United States, you operate in the United States,
yeah,
that you think after SBF, they're just going to let you leave? And now he's stuck in the U.S.
Now he's going to jail.
He's going to jail. He gets sentenced in February.
Yeah.
And to tie back to my winner, Coinbase is always stood by this ethos of
follow the law.
We're going to work with the regulators. Slow and steady wins the race. Everyone else is breaking every law. That's not what we're going to do. And I'd say Brian Armstrong is one of the best CEOs of the last 10 years across all industries, because every other CEO in crypto cut corners to try to grow faster. And he decided, I'm going to just stay my lane while everyone else is growing faster than he is. And now they're the last man standing.
Yep. I agree. That's
and
fair.
He also took a stance in the middle of like political nonsense, no politics in the office.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good rule in the office space. Personal life, talk about all you want.
Yeah.
In the office space, it just creates division.
Agreed. I agree with that. All right. My winner, I was thinking about it earlier, like I have to go with the first family, the Kardashians.
Okay.
They really are, by all intents and purposes, the greatest American family ever. I just cannot imagine a family where all of the children are successful and there's so many of them.
I think LeBron's family will be the same. Because I consider Maverick and Rich part of LeBron's family.
Well, I'm talking blood.
Okay.
I'm saying...
Because Bronny's going to be...
Okay, here's the thing is I'm talking about, we know guaranteed 3 are billionaires.
Yeah.
Okay?
I would say LeBron, Rich, and Maverick will be billionaires. Or if they're not already.
They're not related.
Doesn't matter. It's part of the family. It's the four horsemen.
What?
They're the four horsemen.
So they're horses. They're not brothers. They're not related. This is one family. One mom. She's the greatest mom ever.
Yeah, I hope the kids are mentally fine.
I think all the daughters are fine.
We don't know.
They seem fine.
They seem fine because we see them in the press.
Yeah, but people have breakdowns. They're not like Britney Spears.
No, that's an extreme.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
So Kim's a billionaire. Kylie's a billionaire.
Kendall
will be a billionaire.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Chris just needs to shape it up, make Courtney and Chloe, make them make 500 each. Let Rob make 100.
Yeah, what happened to Rob?
He doesn't want the spotlight.
Have we seen content from Rob?
No, if you see him like a picture here once a year.
Even Disick has a successful brand.
Yeah, even Disick's got money. I'm just saying, like, Disick's like, isn't he like, he's like twice removed from the family and he's still rich.
Yeah.
The ecosystem is crazy. You've never seen anything like it. The Harvard of families.
Sure.
Loser of the week.
I combined my winner and loser.
It's easy. Okay. My loser of the week are EV car makers. I've been reading a lot about Tesla, and the Cybertruck announcement of release dates is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get a price for the car, and the first set of cars are going to start delivering. The reservation for the car used to be $100 like a week ago. Now it's $250. I have a weird feeling that there's like millions of people that have lined up that are waiting for this car. They're not all going to convert, right? And by the way, they can't even make this damn car fast enough. Cybertruck is creating iPhone type excitement.
Yeah.
Like I walked by a Tesla showroom. There was a line of people to go take pictures of the fucking truck. I think other EV car makers are toast.
So a fun anecdote in my fantasy football chat of 10 people who you know all of them, 2 of the 10 are on the reservation list. And one offered, I'll pay a premium if you get the car.
Wow. That's how badly he wants it.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be that car when it hits the road. It's just going to be like everyone's going to want
if you can get one of these Cybertrucks, you could probably flip it for 2x.
Yeah. I mean, especially to be one of the first to have it.
Yeah.
And by the way, like I really thought Rivian, I think that's an awesome car. Like I see it on the road, but it's so expensive. It's like 6 figures for this car.
How much is the Cybertruck?
They're saying anywhere between like 60 and 80 grand.
Given where car prices, that's not outlandish at all to have the hottest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, think about when the iPhone...
Bulletproof?
The first iPhone came out, we wanted it so badly, we bought it hot.
Yeah, we bought stolen and got to pay double.
But we wanted it.
Yeah. People would buy a stolen Cybertruck.
Easy.
All right. Content.
A lot of college football is the biggest thing on the planet.
Yep.
Outside the NFL, a lot of big games this weekend. Conference championships.
All the championships, all the games.
So much on the line. We still don't know who's going to make the playoff.
I love it.
And shout out to Matt Leinart. Big noon kickoff over to game day.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I think his social media has a lot to do with it.
He's popping.
He is on fire. And I was just talking to him the other day about something, and he was telling me, he's like, it's unbelievable what the power of social media is. Like the opportunities that he's created for himself because of social media.
Yeah, and he plays a vulnerable character on social media. You have to be willing to do that.
Yeah. He leans into it hard, and he's really fucking good at it. He's just a likable guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good-looking couple. He's famous.
Yeah.
That also helps.
Heisman
on TV.
And it's college football.
Yeah.
That's what you're known for. Like, you're known for the thing that America loves the most.
So Fox, give him a raise.
Yeah.
If you think that's the reason Big Noon took over.
I don't think it's the rest of the guests. No offense to them. It's not like those other guys, Urban Meyer or Rob Stone or Mark Ingram. No.
Brady Quinn, he's been including him on social.
Yeah. I just think,
good-looking guy.
Yeah. I think it's Matt.
Good for him.
All right. Shout outs. The first one from Lindsay Howell. My husband and I began listening in 2020. My husband had a stroke in 2021, and your podcast was a bright spot through his recovery. He's doing well, and while he still has challenges, I'm so proud of him and want to wish him a very happy birthday. Also, we love D and believe he can do anything he sets his mind to, but we usually take on and side on politics. Trust us. We have children in the Florida public school system under DeSantis. Sadly, there was no holy celebration in our schools, and we are in the #1 performing school district in the state. Our own little hot take on the state of Florida. Thank you for being the best podcast in the world. Thank you, Lindsay. Well, first, happy birthday and glad you've recovered from a stroke. I'm sure that is in itself a very daunting experience.
Yeah, and I exchanged messages. It sounds like he's doing well. So
that's amazing.
good stuff.
Then from Josh LaRosa, shout out to my boy Jake Hobbs, just turned 26 today and killing it. We both have been listening to the pod since day one and came from Short Story Long. Been longtime fans of Y&R. Jake and I would always wear a fresh new Y&R tee to the first day of middle school. Thank you guys for creating the number one pod in the world. That's amazing.
It's great.
It's crazy how many people I meet that like grew up wearing Young and Reckless and the brand's still going, still in PacSun, still in all these stores, and kids are still wearing them. New generation. Unbelievable. All right. We will see you Sunday.
Yep.
Don't forget the YouTube channel. Don't forget to post your Spotify Wrapped.
Smash and subscribe.
Smash and subscribe on TikTok. And we'll see you Sunday. Have a great weekend.